Today is July 2nd, a day for remembrance. 10 years ago today, the world lost a courageous and tireless voice against hate and anti-Semitism. Elie Wiesel was a Holocaust survivor, a Nobel Prize-winning author who devoted his life to fighting intolerance in all forms. I spoke to him many times throughout the years. Elie Wiesel endured several concentration camps during the Holocaust, and like so many survivors, he was steadfast in making sure those atrocities were never forgotten. Joining us now is his son, Elisha Wiesel. Elisha, thanks very much for being here. It's hard to believe your dad has been gone now for 10 years. How do you think he would react to seeing this rise in anti-Semitism that we've seen in recent years, not just here in the U.S., but indeed in so many other parts of the world?
Thank you, Will, for having me on the show to remember my father. My father left behind some very clear lessons for us, and one of his clearest lessons was about language. When we use language of hatred, that can spread and get far worse than we ever imagined. Unfortunately, the right wing in this country has dehumanized immigrants, and in so doing, they opened the door to the DSA, which now dehumanizes Jew. So MAGA, I think, in some sense, has created DSA, or at least is reinforcing it through the choice of language. And if you look at the language that the DSA uses, we see the evil choices that they are making very clearly. Zoran Mamdani says that anyone who supports Israel, through AIPAC or otherwise, that they are monsters spreading dark money. Chevalier, who recently won a congressional seat, talks about how Israel doesn't exist, erasing an entire people with her words after participating in a celebratory rally on October 8th, not 24 hours after the horrors of October 7th. Brad Lander uses the word genocide. My father survived the genocide. He witnessed it. 2/3 of European Jewry were killed in the Holocaust. In Brad's genocide, Israel sends 1.5 million tons or more of food aid, metric tons of food aid, in the days following the ceasefire. So what a gift people are making when they use terrible language. When we misuse the word genocide, we're giving a great gift both to the Nazis and to Hamas by weakening the meaning of the word.
Your dad, of course, was a Holocaust survivor who came to America and became a very, very patriotic American, like my own dad, who was a Holocaust survivor, came to America, became a very patriotic American. My dad wouldn't have believed some of the things that are going on right now, and I assume your dad would have been in the same place, knowing how much he loved this country, seeing this increase in anti-Semitism unfolding, not only on the extreme right, but on the extreme left as well.
My father loved this country deeply. He was a loyal citizen. He believed what this country stood for, and he believed that America, like no other country, was capable of correcting its own problems. He believed that even if a fever broke, we always would overcome it. And if you look at the world today, you look at our country, yes, we have real problems. It's not surprising that young people who are so susceptible to the DSA and the extreme left's message are frustrated. There are real problems to solve in the country. My father always believed we could solve them. We have crypto as a technology which consumes as much energy as Australia and allows Iran and Russia to massively evade sanctions. Should we tax it? Well, that's too hard a question for Gen Z. They own a lot of crypto. Social media is spreading disinformation like crazy. It's today's cigarettes. What cigarettes were for young people 40 years ago today, we know from authors like Jonathan Haidt what it's doing to the young minds of people today. Should we regulate that? Well, that's also tough for Gen Z and millennials because the young people are spreading disinformation using these channels. An immigration policy, can we fix that? Can we have an immigration policy that is both sensitive and compassionate and also sensible and make sense for our country? We should be able to arrive at that nuance, but it's easier to talk about the world in terms of firmly open doors or firmly closed doors, nothing in between. And what happens when societies grapple with problems that are hard, people always come along with evil intent and suggest one scapegoat that's easier to talk about, and unfortunately, that's the Jews.